Hey guys, welcome back to Game Borders. I'm Drayden. This is Spencer. I'm going to review.
This is Stalone. I'll say my own name. Thanks.
No, I didn't get to say my name.
Say your name.
I'm Spencer.
Okay. We're going to be taking a closer look at Raiders of the North Sea. Sorry, Raiders of the North Sea. We're going to go down to the board, see how it plays out, see the closer look at the rules. There's a lot of different things, so I can't really tell you much about it, except that it is a worker placement game.
You'll find out.
Yeah. We have a wonderful playthrough. You guys should check it out. It's awesome. Anyways, let's go down to the table and see how it looks.
Okay, so this is how the board looks all opened up. As you can see, it has great artwork. But let's go over how this game plays, how to set it up, and everything like that. So the first thing you guys are going to do when you are first opening up the board is you're going to be setting up these outposts. So you got outposts, monasteries, fortresses, let's see, and then harbors. And you got to set all these up, and this is how you do it. So each game is going to be coming with a lot of these little tokens, and you're going to put all these tokens inside this bag that comes with the game, and then you're going to pull out whatever this green number is. So this outpost, it has a number of 3, so you're going to pull out at random 3. It just happen to be all iron, and that goes there. We'll pull out 4 for this one, so that's 3. We've got 2 livestock, and then that's a gold. So right there, and we only have 3 there, so let's pull out 1 more. It's another livestock. We'll pull out 4 for this one. All right, so 2 gold, 1 livestock, and then this looks like a little skull thing. It might be a little hard to see. This is a Valkyrie. So these, and I'll explain what those do as we get a little bit further into the game. So that's all I'm going to set up for right now. It'll take me too long to set up this whole thing. But you'll also put little workers on these as well. So you have a white, gray, and this one has some gray ones. Let's see. Oh, this is a black worker. So we've got these 3 color workers. Let me see if I can snag them up. So you've got 3 color workers there, and you'll put the black workers there, gray workers here, and white workers here. So when you go to raid, and I'll explain raiding in a bit, but when you go to raid, when you take this, you also take the worker that's along with it. And then another thing you always set up is you're going to have 3. The game is always going to start with 3 black workers on the town hall, gatehouse, and treasury. So it's always going to start there. But as you go along through the game, these are going to move. You're going to take them off, put more on, and I'll explain that. So now that we've got this set up, pretty much the basic overall deal of the game is you are trying to score the most victory points on this yellow track. Whoever scores the most wins the game. And now let's go into how you're going to score those. So a player is going to go their turn. Each player is going to also start with a black worker here. So I'm going to have 1 black little worker here, and I can go to anything that has this symbol that's showing a black worker. If it doesn't, like this one shows a gray or a white, you can't go there with a black. If it doesn't have anything like this, it means you can go there with anybody. If you go to the mill, it tells you what you get for a black worker, gray worker, or white worker. Same with the smith house or the silversmith. So on my turn, I would take my worker and I would put him on, say, the silversmith. And so the silversmith, if I have a black worker, it gives me 3 silver. And that is represented by these nifty little coins. So these are metal. You got that. That's the front. And then you've got the back right there. So really good looking, and they're metal. Have a really good weight to them, but you'll get 3. So I get 3 of that for placing my black worker down. Now I get to pick a black worker up, so I can pick any of these. I just can't pick the one I just laid down. So I would pick up, say, the gatehouse. Now the gatehouse has this +2, meaning I get to draw 2 of these townfolk cards. So they look like that, and they have your townfolk here. So you've got townfolk like that guy, him, or her, yeah. So there's all sorts of different townfolk here. They each have their own kind of special ability here at the bottom, and then another ability that you can play when you go to the town hall. So having these guys in your hand is really good for you. So if I go to the gatehouse, I get to draw 2 of these. So I just draw these 2, and those go into my deck hand, and you'll have a hand. You'll start gathering more and more, and you can actually go to the barracks and purchase them for whatever it states here on the money. So that's silver. So for this guy, I could pay, he's in my hand, but he's not in my ship. So I'd have to pay 2 silver to get him into my ship and be able to go raiding over here with him. So yeah, getting a gatehouse is really good. So after I take him, it's going to go to the next player. They're going to place one down, pick one up, and then the other person is going to place one down, pick one up, and it'll keep going around like that until you have enough supply or whatever to go raiding. So as you go to all these, you'll get provisions, and I'll show you those here. Provisions are, they look like little sacks of food here. And so if I gain, I want to, let's say I want to raid this harbor, I have to get 3 provisions, and this little symbol right here means I have to have 2 Vikings in my ship to raid here. So if I can get 3 of these little dills, and I have at least 2 Vikings in my ship, then I can now go raiding. So when I raid, let's just say I put these here. So when I raid, I would take my black worker, and instead of placing him on one of these towns, I'd place him on one of these 3 spots here, indicating I am going to raid this harbor. So now that I've raided this harbor, I get all these back. So these go into my supply, my to be spent on other places. I get this black worker, so I start my next turn with a black worker just like before. And the Valkyrie, this automatically kills off one of my Viking here. So this girl doesn't have any strength, so if I kill her off, it's no big deal. I'll still have the strength of this guy, and I'll explain strength, how that works in a sec. So I would kill her off with the Valkyrie, and that would actually make it so I can move my tracker. And all these tracks are going to be indicated by these little meeple flag deal. They represent each color, or they have all the different colors for the different players. So you're going to put one of these here, here, and here. So this is the armor tracker, Valkyrie tracker, and then your victory points tracker. So now that I've rated here, it says I get 1 victory point, so I move that up. But I also killed or acquired one of these Valkyries. It killed one of mine, but I killed it. So that means I move up 1 here. And then as you go further up, you get victory points at the end of the game. You don't tally them up immediately, you do it at the end of the game, and that'll help you win with victory points. So that brings us to the overall game and some of the basic rules. So some of the basic rules are kind of what I explained. You take one, or put one down, take one up. Unless you're raiding, you put one down, then you take whatever is attached, you pick that up. So as you go further, you'll get, you'll place a black worker, grab a gray, meaning you can start attacking these places up here, get a gray here, attack that, get a white. The white makes it so you can attack up here. So there's going to be a couple deals that are going to trigger the end of the game. And let's go over this. So this longhouse you can put a worker here, so you can put a white or gray worker here, and you can convert 1 livestock, that's this little cow. You can convert 1 livestock for 2 of these sacks of provisions, or you can do this, which this will be placed here. So these are sacrifices. So you can go here and sacrifice 1 silver, 2 livestock, and 1 iron to get this little deal. This is going to give you 5 victory points at the end of the game. And then once you take that, you flip one from the deck over, and as soon as these are all taken out, and you know, as the game goes on, you're going to keep buying them and selling them and all that stuff. So as soon as these are all gone, you have 1 left. At that point, once this last one is flipped over, that ends the game. So that's one way to trigger the end of the game. The other way is you're going to have these Valkyries. So the Valkyries are going to be placed throughout here, this whole board. And as soon as all these Valkyries are wiped off of the board, that also ends the game. The third way to end the game is by attacking these fortresses. So if all of these fortresses except for 1, and it doesn't matter which one, so as long as all of them are raided except for 1, that will also end or trigger the end of the game. And then at the end of the game, you just tally up your points and see who won. One more rule I want to go over is the strength. So here you can come to the armory and you can give 2 silver for 1 armor. And that's calculated here on this track. More armor you get, more victory points it's worth at the end of the game. You can also give 1 iron for 2 armor. Now armor is good for when you're raiding. So if you are, say you're raiding this place, you can see that 8 strength will give you 2 victory points, 14 strength will give you 4 victory points. So if I had, say I had these 3 Vikings here, say I had these 3 Vikings on my ship to raid, I would calculate all their strength. So he has 4, he has 2, then you calculate any things that might benefit you down here on their little special. That plus sign means they're always in effect. So you look, and if that helps you, then you add strength to that. Some of them do, some of them don't. And then you also calculate, so if I'm at 2 here, I add this 2 as well. So I'd be 2, 4, 8. So I'd have 8 right off the bat. So I've already got this 2 victory points. Now it also says I can roll 1 red dice. Some of them have 2. These are the red dice, just a simple 1 to 6, 6-sided dice. So I would also roll 1 of these. That's 4, so that's going to add another 4. So I've got 8, 10, 12 victory points. So I didn't quite get there, so I don't get 4 victory points. Excuse me, I got 12 strength, so I didn't quite get 14 strength. So I only get 2 victory points for raiding this place. If I would have got 14, then I would have got 4 victory points, moving me up 1, 2, 3, 4 on there. So that's pretty much how raiding works. You take that, go back, keep getting resources to raid. You get the raid to get other resources to come back here and offer sacrifices, or to get victory points if you want to build up strength. And they're both, you know, there's multiple strategies to win this game. So that's pretty much all the basic rules. There are a few more technical rules, but I'll let you guys read through the manual yourself and figure those out.
All right, guys, we just barely got done checking out the rules and the board and everything to the Raiders of the North Sea. So today, we're going to go through and review it. So I'll start first. On art, I gave it an 8. I really liked the Vikings. It's kind of cartoony, but they did it right, and where they got cool Vikings. You know, they all look like monsters. All of them.
I was
like
wondering
that.
about that for you, because I know that you have a hard time with the cartoony things, especially when it comes to things like Vikings, monsters.
If it's going to be badass, make it badass. Don't make them all cute and cuddly. A shark can't be cute and cuddly. Spence, would you like to defend the artwork?
I mean, you gave it an 8. I'm going to tell you it's not an 8. It's a 9. It's a solid 9. Look at this. Look at the art on that thing. That is amazing. And it gets even better when you get in the box. I love the cartoon look, though. It's great. And they're just fun characters in there. I mean, they're not proportionate, which has just, I mean, it's fun. and funny, and it's just, I don't know, it's overall a great time. It
Some
makes
of those dudes'
me happy.
biceps look like thighs.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
I think I got a Picasso eye or something. I'm always just a little down on the art. I gave it a 7. Still a great
Or
art.
you have
Still love
no
the art.
artistic
Well,
ability.
that's, I assume, a Picasso. That's right.
Not
Loved
quite,
it. I did love it. I loved the art. It was very cool, very exciting. Just felt like it was, above average, but not the greatest I've ever
I
seen.
respect it. Even though it's wrong, I respect it.
All right. We'll get into components now. I gave it a 9 because, I mean, metal coins.
Hey,
Who does that?
I love metal coins.
Like,
That is
I know
nice.
2 games that do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, they have the meeples, like nice wooden, I guess, ships.
This has come from
workers.
someone that hates meeples, too.
Well,
meeples.
okay, I hate blobby meeples.
They're
you know.
blobs.
These ones didn't look bad. The workers actually looked like I don't know, they didn't look like a shape, but it was,
yeah.
or it didn't look like a human shape, it was just a shape.
Yeah.
But you could tell what everything was. It wasn't
Like a
just
tent
blob.
peg?
Yeah.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
No.
Okay.
Gonna sign on that, bud.
Vince, you want to go?
You guys aren't going to like
I
this.
can already
Oh,
see it.
it's gonna be low.
No, it's going to be a 10.
10?
10 out of 10, guys.
He likes those.
The coins, yeah, they're awesome. Not only are they they're not even perfectly round, they're
They look
jagged.
very
They're
historically accurate.
yeah, exactly. It's like you would find something clear in Norway or
I
up
buried
north.
those and a kid found them. He thinks they're real.
And even then, they have
Can't be shy.
you have like in the expansions. We play it with the expansion through our playthrough, but they have the mead
Yep.
meeple ones
A little
and.
bit like me.
Yeah, and then they have the wound tokens, and just there's not a bad component in here. The cards, they sit well. They
I didn't like the card stock.
Should we,
Yeah.
can we take it back over here now? Kinda
Yeah,
explain to you?
yeah, get it out of here. I just give it a
Your
10.
rebuttal.
Now, look
Let's hear
at-
your rebuttal.
The coins, yes. We're all raving about the coins.
Coins
I
are
looked
great.
at it, it was a little bit lower, and then I thought, the coins. Had to bring it, bump it up. I literally did that. Had to go with another 7. Because too much components.
Too
It's
much.
Every corner you're turning, it's, I can't hold all this. I can't grab this. I've got all this stuff everywhere. It's too much. I loved it. I
felt
loved
like
all
it
of
was
them. I loved all of them, but they were
Yeah.
too much.
I would agree with you in the base game. There's too much, but once you get with the expansion, they come with those little player boards, and you just keep it all right
Give
there.
you some more tokens
love
to
more
have,
stuff.
and it's like, oh sweet,
Oh, yeah.
a little board with more tokens.
I really
Let's
agree
fill
that
them both up.
I had a hard time with the size of them. They were hard to grip, and you couldn't. You're holding them in your hands.
Oh, the wound tokens.
Oh no, the
tokens,
wound, like
I
the
felt like
iron, the
those
gold.
so
It's just hard to grab. You couldn't just grab 3 of them because they were all weird shapes, so they'd roll and
It's just
throw
weird
them all
that
over the place.
we're
But-
bagging. I mean, we're saying 7 is bad. 7 is great. 7 is fantastic,
Yeah.
but that's just the
This
look.
game deserves a 10, though.
Hey, it wasn't a 10. I'll give you that, but I did say it a 9. So.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Yeah. Okay, game length. It can go on. It drags on,
Yes.
and you don't feel like you're doing anything, and then you feel like everyone's winning you forever. And then you come out on top like I did, and it's awesome. So
I'm
7 out of 10.
7. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go the opposite way, and I'm going 5 out of 10 because it can drag on,
Yeah.
and this can go up to with the expansions. I think 6 players.
Show the time.
I would be scared to play this with
About
6
2
players.
hours.
About 2 hours.
Yeah, we played it for 2 hours.
There it is.
We played it for 2 hours with 3 people.
Yep.
If you have 6,
I
yeah,
think it just goes a lot
about
faster though.
yeah, clear your whole
'Cause-
weekend.
The game, it goes fast, and then till like the last 10 turns, then it just feel like it goes real quick, or it goes slow. Then
You're
last
trying to
10
shore up your
Yeah, you're like, okay,
your
now
investments.
I got a few more things I need to do, and then you start seeing those like the winning tokens or whatever. They start going
Start
quick, and
popping
you're
out.
like, I need 4 more turns. I can't do this.
So I gave it a 5 out of 10. It went on too
Wanna
long.
Defend,
No,
destroy what?
I'm with Spence again. 4. I get
4.
it. I think I think the time on it is awfully long, and this could have been the fact that I was up till about 2 o'clock and we were playing this game, and that
Yeah.
makes it feel like everything's a little bit longer. And
We had 4 people when we played that time. Yeah.
it was
How long did
pretty
that go
rough.
for?
But I think
It was
a good solid
probably 2 hours, yeah.
But it can run long. It could go fast, but it probably.
Well, I mean, if you know you're getting into a long game, it's
Then
not
it's not
bad.
If it went fast, you played it wrong.
Yeah.
As simple as that, man.
For sure.
All right.
All right, should we go to downtime?
Yeah, let's do downtime. Some people don't plan out their moves ahead, or if you get, somebody will take your move. I try to plan out ahead, but then somebody will make a move that totally throws everything off, and you have to divert, retrack, and you're just like, I guess I'll just take provisions and money this turn. I don't have anything better to do.
I also with the downtime. I don't know. Did you actually tell your
Oh no, as a 5.
5. Okay.
Because there's a lot of downtime.
Yeah, I'm,
Cheating. It is. That's right.
Don't look.
so I'm going to give it a slightly higher rating than that. I give it a 6 out of 10. I agree with you a ton on that, though. There's some downtime, especially if you get someone that just they can't think of their strategy and they just sit there and stare at the board forever. And yeah, you're wondering if you should call the hospital because you don't know if they just died on you because they're sitting there for so long. So yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10 because it can be slowed down big time by that.
Let's take it down a notch.
Oh, even lower.
Over to 3. I thought there was a
You're going straight carnage on this game.
The thing is my first 2 were 7s. I love the game. But
My first 2 were 9 and 10.
look, it was enjoyable. But I felt like there was a lot of downtime. I felt like I was sitting there for a long time, and yeah, there's things you can do in the downtime, but you got to look at the characters and what their special abilities are, and to do that, you got to reach across in everybody else's play space, grab the card. And
Yeah.
I felt like the downtime, it was kind of a lot.
I could be
Especially
talking.
when we were playing with 4 people. I think that made it a little bit worse. If you had 3 people, I feel like that the downtime
It is a lot
was
better.
quicker, a lot easier.
Yeah, I'm sure with 6 people, I'd give it a lower
Oh,
score.
with 6 people, just go ahead and take a nap
Yeah,
or 2.
I wouldn't even try this
Yeah.
game with 6 people. No.
Okay, let's go into setup and cleanup.
Well-
I gave it a 5 because
Yeah.
there's a lot of setup, a lot of boards, a lot of separating everything into their own piles, and you have to put separate piles on different things. It's just kind of a lot, but if you know that's what you're getting into, it's really not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do the same. I gave it a 5 out of 10 because, granted, this one had all the expansions, like I keep saying, so it did take longer to clean up, and it barely fits in the box. And if you don't fit it just right, it's not going to fit. It's not one of those games like what Drayden likes to do, just can't do that. You got to be a little bit more
Like to do
meticulous.
it, I just don't like to separate everything.
Yeah, you got to have the patience to put this
At
game
least
away.
has the little bag of holding for you.
Yeah, and I don't know. So I give it, even with that bag, I still give it a 5 out of 10.
I'm surprised you didn't tuck yourself down a little bit.
I could be
because
talked down.
When you were talking, it sounded like you were going to convince yourself to go down. I gave it the setup, and again, I feel bad looking at my score. It's like maybe I shouldn't have done everything so low because I did enjoy the game, but the setup and cleanup, I gave it a 2. I thought that we sat there. The setup was a long time, and maybe it was because of the expansions. Maybe it was, but the setup was a long time. And then the cleanup was a long time, and I felt like we had both of us, and I still felt like it was, or at least on the cleanup.
Well, you
The
didn't-
setup,
yeah.
you did most of the stuff, and the cleanup, I didn't really know what I was doing.
Setup does take long. You know what? You've talked me into it before.
There you go.
Setup does
Just-
take a long
just
time,
lot of
guys.
time. But it makes sense. It's a big game. It's an epic game, I would say.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on. It's really exciting, but to get that excitement, it's the same thing with any big, exciting game like Gloomhaven or Legends of
Yeah.
Andor. These big, exciting games take a lot of time to get set up and get prepared.
Part of the fun
That
is
makes
just
sense.
setting it up.
Absolutely not.
That's not true.
That people say.
The journey is not the funnest part.
So,
Overall, I've given it an 8 out of 10.
8 out
I
of
see
10.
you bumped it up.
Yeah, I did.
Again.
I gave it an 8 out of 10. I liked it. I will
know
say it's heavily influenced by the fact that I won the second game.
Yeah.
I love that. It was cool.
Changes them.
Yeah. At first, I was just some schmuck Viking, and then I won, and then I was a Jarl. I was a champion.
So I give it a 7 out of 10. But again, I mean, you know what? Screw it. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10.
Bump that up because I don't want to be on the same
Yeah.
level as you on anything.
Well, it is a fun game. And I can't close out this review without talking about the replayability. I've played this game a lot more than both of these guys, and every time I play it, I like it a little bit more and a little bit more. So, despite all the downtime on player, the game length, the setup and cleanup time, it's just a solid game, man. It's a solid game all around. So, yeah, I give it. Let's go 7.5 out of 10.
I
Want
went
to change
7.
anything else?
Let him talk. I'll think about it. I might change
7 on the
later.
overall. I know I talk like I bagged on it a lot.
Yeah.
But
How do twos
overall-
turn into sevens, bud?
Twos, because look, I'll tell you right now, this game was fantastic, way fun, super exciting, and if you hire yourself a butler to set it up to feed you while you wait, boom, that's a 10 out of 10 right there.
I like
You
it.
got
I
nothing
that.
to worry about. But
true.
The game, just on how it plays, how fun it was, how epic it was really fun.
You
Really
can.
exciting.
There's so many paths to victory in here. That's what I love because I've played it so many times and I've won by doing every strategy. I've won by going out and raiding. I've won by doing quests. I've won by, getting fame. And I love that because there's no one path to victory, and there's no strategy that seems like it's way better than any other strategy.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Real point salad.
Yeah.
Sure, if you're into that.
Yeah.
Which is
All
exciting.
right. Well, that's been Raiders of the North Sea. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and send us a video you might want to, or a game you might want us to review, and we'll post it eventually.